Breaking news doesn't always come from a newsroom. Sometimes it bursts straight out of a broken home. That night, Doug Christy sat in silence, unaware that the truth was about to rip through his life like a bomb. The lights were dim, the house was quiet, and the only sound was the faint tick of the clock as he stared at an envelope on the table. It looked harmless, maybe even ordinary. But inside that envelope was a secret so powerful it would shatter everything Doug Christy believed in. His marriage, his daughter, his best friend. With trembling hands, he tore it open, and the world as he knew it ended. The paper didn't just speak. It screamed. Doug Christy, 0% match. Montel Jordan, 99.9%. For a second, his heart stopped. He blinked, read it again, then again, hoping the letters would rearrange themselves into something else, anything else. But they didn't. The truth stood there, cold and merciless. The daughter he raised with love, the little girl he called his own, wasn't his. She belonged to someone else. To his friend. To Montel Jordan. His body went numb. His breath hitched. A sound escaped his chest, half sob, half scream. Doug Christy stumbled back, clutching the paper like it was poison. How? Why? The questions tore through him, but there were no answers. Just pain. Moments later, Jackie Christie walked in, her face pale, her voice small. "Doug," she whispered. But Doug Christy didn't need her to finish. He already knew. Her eyes said it all. The guilt, the fear, the years of silence. "Tell me this isn't real," he begged. She didn't speak. She couldn't. And that silence was louder than any confession. Rage exploded inside him. He threw the glass from the table, the crash echoing through the house. "How could you, Jackie? How could you do this to me?" he shouted, tears cutting down his face. But the betrayal didn't stay within those four walls. Within hours, the world knew. Screens lit up. Headlines blazed across the internet. Montel Jordan exposed in DNA scandal. Jackie Christie's daughter, not Doug's. Social media erupted like wildfire. Hashtags flooded timelines. Justice for Doug, our Jackie exposed, our DNA storm. Millions watched as a once perfect family fell apart in real time. And then, as if fate hadn't done enough damage, an old hotel video leaked. Grainy but unmistakable. Jackie Christie and Montel Jordan walking out of a suite together, holding hands, smiling like lovers. The clip hit the internet like gasoline on fire. "Proof!" People screamed. "They lied!" The video racked up millions of views overnight. Doug Christy sat in front of the TV, watching his private nightmare turned into public humiliation. The betrayal wasn't just emotional anymore, it was viral. The next day, he stood before cameras at a press conference. The world watched as Doug Christy tried to find words. His voice shook. His eyes were red. "I am a broken man," he said softly. "My marriage, my daughter, my family, and all built on lies. I gave everything, and they destroyed me." The room went still. No one could look away. A legend was falling apart, piece by piece, and the cameras caught every second. Then came the whispers. The insiders? The leaks. One claimed Montel Jordan had secretly paid Jackie Christie to hide the truth for years. Headlines exploded again. Montel paid to bury DNA secrets. It was the betrayal behind the betrayal. Fans turned savage. They called Jackie Christie a manipulator, a homewrecker. Montel Jordan was branded a backstabber, a traitor who had crossed a sacred line. In the middle of the chaos was Chantel, the young woman caught in the storm. The girl who had just learned that her father wasn't her father. That her entire life, her memories, her name, her bloodline, was built on deception. She posted a single message online. "So my whole life was a lie. Who am I really?" It broke the internet. Millions reshared it, flooding her comments with heartbreak and pity. But no words could fix the hole in her heart. She wasn't just Jackie's daughter anymore. She was the face of betrayal. At his next game, Doug Christy tried to play through the pain. But fans were cruel. They chanted Montel's daddy, "Montel's daddy!" from the stands, mocking him as he tried to focus. The words cut deep, slicing through his composure like a blade. In one furious moment, he ripped off his jersey, threw it to the ground, and stormed out of the arena. Cameras followed as he disappeared down the tunnel. The clip spread like wildfire. Doug Christy breaks down. Commentators debated, analysts speculated, fans cried. The proud athlete was gone. All that remained was a man shattered by betrayal, and yet the pain only deepened. Paparazzi camped outside his house. Reporters stalked his every move. Every picture, every tear, every broken glance was turned into a headline. Doug Christie's downfall. The DNA that destroyed a dynasty. The scandal wasn't just news anymore. It was entertainment. People didn't just read about his pain. They consumed it. Behind closed doors, Doug Christy barely ate. Barely slept. Friends said he would sit alone for hours, staring at that same piece of paper, reading the words over and over. 0% match. His life's foundation had turned to dust. Meanwhile, Jackie Christie, once adored on red carpets, found herself drowning in public hatred. She tried to fight back, going live on Instagram, mascara streaking down her face as she cried, "I never wanted this. I made mistakes, but I loved my family." But the internet was merciless. The comments stabbed at her. "You destroyed him. You ruined your family. Shame on you, Jackie." Then there was Montel Jordan, the man whose songs once filled stadiums. Now his name was cursed. Reporters cornered him outside studios, shouting questions. "Did you father Doug's daughter? Did you pay Jackie to keep it secret?" He said nothing, just silence. And that silence screamed guilt louder than any statement could. Within days, radio stations pulled his music. Sponsors dropped him. Hashtags like "Cancel Montel" and "Betrayal of Brotherhood" dominated the feeds. For Chantel, the fallout was unbearable. The internet's pity turned to cruelty. Strangers commented on her photos, calling her the scandal baby, mocking her existence. One night, she posted a dark video, her face hidden in shadows, her voice trembling. "If Doug isn't my father and Montel is, then who am I?" The clip shattered hearts across the world. Millions watched. Thousands cried. But for Chantel, the pain was too real to scroll past. And so what began as a secret in an envelope had become a public inferno, one that consumed everyone it touched. Doug Christy, once the hero, now a symbol of heartbreak. Jackie Christie, the fallen queen of deception. Montel Jordan, the friend turned betrayer. And Chantel, the child left in pieces. The scandal wasn't just about DNA anymore. It was about trust. Love. And how one truth, once unleashed, can burn down an entire world. The world thought the storm had peaked. But for Doug Christy, the real collapse was just beginning. His mansion, once filled with laughter and family memories, had become a museum of ghosts. Every photo frame felt like a lie. Every echo of his daughter's laughter was a knife in his chest. Nights turned into torment. Neighbors said they could hear him screaming into the dark, calling Jackie's name, begging for answers that never came. Sometimes he'd be seen walking barefoot through the streets, clutching that DNA envelope against his chest like it was the last piece of his soul. The cameras caught it all. "Doug Christy loses it all," the headlines read. But behind that headline was a man who'd already lost himself long before the world noticed. Meanwhile, Jackie Christie tried to claw her way back from the ashes. She booked a sit-down interview, tears glistening under studio lights. "I loved my family," she whispered, her voice trembling. But the public wasn't ready to forgive. The audience booed. The comments were merciless. "You lied. You betrayed him. You deserve this." Every sob became another headline. Every apology became another meme. She wasn't Jackie Christie, the reality TV icon anymore. She was the villain of the decade. And Montel Jordan, the once beloved artist who sang about love and loyalty, now faced a crowd that saw him as nothing more than a symbol of deceit. Reporters ambushed him outside his car. "Did you pay her off?" They shouted. "Did you steal your friend's family?" He looked down, silent, the guilt written across his face. That silence echoed louder than any denial. Radio stations banned his songs. Concert promoters canceled tours. His face disappeared from billboards. The man who once stood under bright lights was now chased by darkness. The courtroom became the next battlefield. Doug Christy, hollow-eyed but determined, arrived clutching the same envelope that had destroyed him. He didn't come for revenge, he came for truth. The cameras flashed as he walked in. Inside, Jackie sat pale and shaking. Montel avoided his eyes, staring at the floor like a man facing judgment. When the judge called the case, you could feel the tension pulse through the room. Lawyers read the results aloud. Doug Christy, 0%. Montel Jordan, 99.9%. The words echoed like gunfire. Gasps filled the air. Jackie Christy broke down on the stand, sobbing uncontrollably. "I never wanted to hurt him," she cried. But Doug Christy couldn't listen anymore. He slammed his fist against the table. "Tell them the truth, Jackie. Tell them what you did to me." The courtroom erupted. The judge shouted for order, but it was too late. The moment went viral within minutes. Millions watched the clip online. Caption after caption read, "This is what heartbreak looks like. Heartbreak looks like." Then came the next bombshell. Investigative reporters uncovered financial records. Quiet money transfers from Montel Jordan's account to Jackie's private company around the same time Chantel was born. It was all there in black and white. The payments matched the timeline. The motive was clear. Hush money. News outlets exploded again. "Montel paid to hide DNA truth," they screamed. The fans who once sang his lyrics now burned his albums on camera. Montel Jordan became a walking headline for betrayal. The scandal didn't just live online, it bled into real life. During a charity game, fans held up signs that read, "Not the daddy." Others shouted, "She played you, Doug." He froze mid-game, dropped the ball, and walked straight off the court, tears streaming down his face. Analysts said it was the most haunting moment of his career. "He's not losing just basketball," one reporter said quietly. "He's losing himself." And then, the diary surfaced. Pages allegedly written by Jackie Christie in the late 90s, leaked by an anonymous insider. Her handwriting, her words, "I love him. I can't tell Doug. He would never forgive me." Those words spread like wildfire. Every page dissected. Every line replayed on podcasts and talk shows. It was the final confirmation that everything had been true. Every rumor, every suspicion, every denial. Jackie's affair wasn't just a mistake. It was a secret love story written in ink. The fallout destroyed what was left. Doug Christy moved out of the mansion. Jackie vanished from social media. Montel Jordan canceled everything and disappeared from the spotlight. And Chantel, poor Chantel, shut down all her accounts after trolls flooded her with cruel comments. "You're the scandal baby," they typed. The proof of their sin. She couldn't take it. In one leaked message to a friend, she wrote, "I feel like I was born from betrayal." Those words cut through the internet like glass. People cried, reposted, sympathized. But sympathy doesn't heal scars like that. The court drama dragged on for months. Doug's legal team accused Jackie and Montel of fraud, emotional torture, and intentional deception. Jackie's lawyers fought back, saying it was a private matter turned public circus. But the public didn't care. They wanted justice. They wanted accountability. Crowds gathered outside the courthouse holding signs. "Justice for Doug. Expose the truth." The chant grew louder every day. Then, the final nail in the coffin. Late one night, leaked audio clips hit the internet. Old recordings of Jackie Christie and Montel Jordan whispering on the phone. "He can never know Montel," Jackie said, her voice shaking. "He'd never forgive me." And Montel's response? "Then we bury it forever." That was it. The ultimate proof. This wasn't a mistake. It was a cover-up. Planned. Hidden. Protected for decades. When Doug Christy heard the tapes, he collapsed in tears. Days later, he held a final press conference. Cameras flashed. His hands trembled as he leaned into the mic. "The truth came too late," he said quietly. "I lost my family, my peace, my identity. Nothing can give me back the years I lived believing a lie." His voice cracked, his body shook, and the room fell silent. It wasn't a victory speech. It was a eulogy. By then, the Christie mansion stood empty, a silent monument to what betrayal leaves behind. Jackie Christie had disappeared, her name now synonymous with deceit. Montel Jordan, once a symbol of love and faith, had become a ghost in the music industry. And Chantel, the innocent child who never asked for this, vanished into anonymity. But Doug Christy, broken, scarred, yet still standing, became the face of heartbreak across the world. His story wasn't about fame anymore. It was about survival. About how one piece of paper could burn down an empire. Reporters called it the biggest DNA scandal in sports history. Fans called it the ultimate betrayal. But for Doug Christy, it was simply his life, ripped apart, rewritten, and remembered forever. And as the world moved on, one haunting truth remained. Sometimes the deadliest weapon isn't a bullet or a lie. It's a secret, buried too long, uncovered too late, that turns love into ashes. Because in the end, the truth doesn't just set you free. It destroys everything that isn't strong enough to survive it.